urge to create is such a particular feeling and thing for me. It's such a primal kind of reaction to the world and to life, is to go, hey, I want to make something new. And it's definitely not something unique to me. I think a lot of people experience this. It's just such a complicated and layered experience to have, and also to then act upon, because there's so many things in the world you can make, and I chose to create art. But I could have so easily imagined myself, like when I think of the urge to create, I always find a way, when I hear musicians or when I hear any kind of creative talk about the way they make their work, I always somehow find a way to link it back to the way that I make my work. So I was talking to a musician recently, and they told me about how they structure and how they lyric and how their creative process starts and ends. And to me, it sounded exactly like a different version of how I started and ended up painting. And I think those two are so intimately connected in a way that we don't really realize or can speak about. But there's just this, except for like the bridge, there is like this urge to make something new. And obviously, it can never be truly new. That's a whole different discussion. I think it can be sometimes. I think it gradually together, as people, we shift into making something new, a new style, a new something, a new trend. It's something you do collectively and not necessarily on your own, in my personal opinion. um but regardless, that urge to create is there for me, and it has been for a long time, and I never really knew what form to make it, because I knew that I like doing quick work and I like doing it fast. I liked having it be simple, but still in a way that's fun, because if it's not fun, I don't care for it, and I can't keep my attention to it, and it's not fun for me if it has to be like super precise and like detailed and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't like drawing for a long time because it's so precise and so everything. But now I found oil pastels, which really work for me because they're very thick and you can almost like floof 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 floof, and it's done. You can just do that. So I love oil pastels for that reason. But this urge to create, it's been with me for a long time, and recently I've been kind of thinking of how can I best create stuff. Like, this urge to create is kind of what drives me, this obsessive need to make something. And what I necessarily make isn't as important, but I feel like there's something primal in that urge that I can then make into the subject itself, because I think it's such a human thing to want to create. And I'm really busy with animals in my work, and humans and animals are so closely related. We are animals, but we are somehow trying to differentiate ourselves from animals. And I think it's cool to realize how we're the same, and how these we have these urges to that are uniquely human, but still are a defining part of us as species. Um, to view that as an animal and as an animalistic trait, and I think it's a great idea to explore for me, how the urge to create is something super primal feeling to me. It feels like something ancient that people held, like my bloodline has done for generations upon generations, probably. Um, I think there's something there, and I'm not quite sure what it is yet. And talking about it helps me figure out what it is. But I'm gonna make a whole lot of more work about the animal and human relationships, and I hope to find what it is that's this primal energy and this like urge, this urge to create.